Okay, Sasha, are you going to help me with something? Are you here for a reason? Yes, you are. You're always here for a reason. She's a good girl. Okay, let's talk a little bit about Reiki self-treatment. In Reiki, we can treat ourselves. And that makes Reiki very special because it's the only healing modality where you can treat yourself just as effectively as if somewhere else were treating you. And I want to first go over the routine that Hawayo Takara used to use in her classes. So I want to teach you that routine. It's very simple. And then we're going to practice some optional positions, and we'll talk about why we're practicing them. The first thing we want to keep in mind is that in order for self-treatment to be effective, you want to use it regularly. That means daily, an hour a day. But that doesn't have to be a consecutive hour. You can break the self-treatment into chunks of time. So for instance, when you wake up in the morning, you may want to just do your head, neck, and shoulders and just bring energy to your eyes, to your brain, to your ears. You're going to need to use them all day long. So spend maybe 10 or 15 minutes even before you get out of bed working on this area. Then in the afternoon, just after lunch, if you tend to get sleepy after lunch, anybody who feels a little sleepy after lunch? Okay, work on your digestive area to help your body process your lunch more effectively and free up a lot of energy, okay? And another 10 or 15 minutes here can do wonders for how productive you are in the afternoon. And then when you get home, focus on areas that have been a problem. Perhaps you have some discomfort at night. You're uncomfortable and that's keeping you awake. We'll cover those as well in a little while. So I like to start with a routine and then have you follow along with me so that you learn the positions. And then we'll get into, problem areas that you may want to treat. So the first thing we'll do, if you have any glasses on, take them off because we're going to work around your eyes. Is bring your hands over to your eyes. And if you're at home doing this position, you may want to have a pillow or two underneath your elbows for support so you don't get tired. Otherwise, you will get tired. And what I like you to do is have a clock nearby and periodically look at the clock and time yourself here 3 to 5 minutes. Okay, and when the 3 to 5 minutes is up, then you're going to come to your neck. And again, use the pillow here for support so that you don't get tired. 3 to 5 minutes. And then you're going to continue down the front of your torso. This is what I like you to do. Overlap your fingertips, like so. Bring the thumbs down. And let's go down the chest, 3 to 5 minutes, 3 to 5 minutes, 3 to 5 minutes, 3 to 5 minutes, and 3 to 5 minutes here on the hip. And then if the hour is not up yet, go to areas that have been a problem. So for instance, if you have any knee pain, do the knee. It's a good idea to sandwich the knee side to side and front and back and work on the knee. If you do one knee, make sure to do the other. Even if the other knee is okay, just give it a little bit of energy to balance the level of energy in both knees. Side to side, front and back. This is great if you've had a knee replacement. You have swelling and inflammation around the knee. Treat the knee. Okay? Shoulder problems. Okay? Go to the shoulder. You can treat one hand at a time. You don't have to use both hands. Both hands give you more working surface, and that's great. But if you can't use both hands, just do one hand at a time. Do the front of the neck, to the back of the neck. Many times, shoulder problems and problems with our arms have to do with the neck area. What you may want to do is do a long pack with an overlap like this and bring it to the back of your neck and treat. Okay. Problems with your hip. Why don't you sandwich front and back and work on your hip area? You don't have to be lying down. You can do Reiki from a chair. You can do Reiki standing if that's the most comfortable position for you. The rule is getting the most comfortable position that works for you and give Reiki from there. Okay? So you're addressing your hip area and low back, and then switch and do the other side if that's a problem for you. If it's not, then don't use it. But these are nice optional positions that you could use. Okay, let's do a problem. Let's treat another problem area. Why don't we do hearing? And you can treat hearing. Okay. So let's go to the temples, and actually, your middle ear is forward of your external earlobe. So in this position, you are treating the middle ear. So for ear infections, for ringing of the ears, for vertigo, for hearing issues, treat here. Let me show you a position for blood pressure. High blood pressure or low blood pressure, you can treat. So let's go to the ear position, okay, and then come down to the neck. So you actually want to be right over the earlobe in this position. We're treating blood pressure, okay, and then the neck. We're treating the carotid artery in this position, and the carotid artery contains chemicals that control blood pressure. You're also treating the any plaque buildup that may have accumulated in the carotid artery. Reiki is helping to dissolve it safely, and that will help to prevent strokes. Okay, let me show you a position that is very good anytime that the brain is not communicating properly with the muscles in the body. So for example, for MS, Lou Gehrig's disease, any type of palsy, anytime that the brain and the muscles are not talking together. And what you're going to do is overlap your fingertips again and come over the top of the head. So stroke, MS, Parkinson's, anytime that the brain and the muscles are not talking. You're working on the motor muscle cortex. This is the part of the brain that we use to communicate with muscles. Okay. If you have a problem with numbness of the fingers or tingling of the fingers, treat. You can treat one hand at a time. Carpal tunnel, same thing. Go to the wrist. So you can create your own optional positions. Go to where the pain is, go to where the problem is. Remember the rule, if the condition has been there 3 weeks or longer, you need to also do the whole body. So just do the self-treatment routine for the whole body that you just learned. And then go to the carpal tunnel position. Or maybe the tennis elbow position. Okay, make sense? Okay, let me show you a couple positions for sleep. Okay, the sleep center is back here in the brainstem, the back of the head. So take your hands again, make that overlap, come to the back. Okay, so you're treating the sleep center back here, mood swings as well. So sadness, if you feel one moment sad, the next moment you're happy and you're fluctuating, or you're depressed, or you just had an upsetting experience, you want to work on the back of the head right here. This is the emotional control center right here, okay? And then you're going to go to the soles of your feet. I'm talking about sleep now. Back of the head and soles of the feet. If you go to your heel, and you don't need to take off your shoe, I want you just to imagine your foot right now, your heel, and you go to the center of the heel, there is a point that is used in Japanese acupuncture for insomnia, right at the center of the heel, okay? So what we do in Reiki is to treat the entire sole of the foot. And the first thing you want to do if you have problems with sleep, anybody here who has issues with sleep a little bit? Okay. You work on the back of the head just before bedtime. You're going to do this before you go to sleep. You're already in bed. You're going to treat the back of your head and treat it for about 15, 20 minutes until you start getting sleepy. And then you're going to go to your feet, and if you're able to reach both feet at the same time, do both feet. And give energy to the soles of your feet. 15, 20 minutes, and that will help you start becoming sleepy. Okay, and then just continue on to sleep. Now, if you're doing self-treatment at night, and I recommend that you do the bulk of your self-treatment once you're in bed, you may discover that you fall asleep right in the middle of your self-treatment. Okay, that's fine. I don't want you to wake yourself up to continue the self-treatment. If you're asleep, continue sleeping. As long as you have your hands in contact with your body, you're giving yourself Reiki. Anytime you touch, even if you're asleep, you touch your body, you're asleep, the Reiki begins to flow automatically. In other words, you don't have to be consciously aware of the Reiki flowing in order for it to work. It just flows automatically anytime you're in contact. What is your question, Natalia?
What if you touch a friend and like your Reiki energy starts to flow, but they don't want Reiki energy?
Okay, that's a great question. And I have an answer for you. Okay, Reiki will flow whether you're aware of it or not after 3 to 5 seconds of you touching. So let's do this right now. And I have a solution for you, okay, of what to do. But I want everyone to try this with me right now. Place your hand on your lap and see if you can notice when the Reiki begins to flow. Can you feel it? Yeah? Okay, good. Okay, now, there is a way that you can use your intention to turn off Reiki. And all you have to do is say to yourself, Reiki off. And when you say Reiki off, it turns off. It won't flow. But when you're ready for Reiki to begin flowing again, you have to say Reiki on. Because if you forget to say Reiki on, then Reiki is off, and you'll wonder what happened to my Reiki. It's, I don't feel Reiki anymore. Well, it's off. So you have to turn it back on. So if you're in a situation with a friend that doesn't want to receive Reiki, or anybody that doesn't want to receive Reiki, or maybe you're in a meeting or at a party and you don't want the Reiki to start flowing automatically, just say to yourself, Reiki off, and then it's off. And then when you're ready, when you leave the party, say Reiki on, and it's going to start flowing again. So let's try that right now, okay? So say to yourself silently, Reiki off, and touch your lap. Nothing happens, right? Okay, now say Reiki on, and touch again. And feel the difference. Can you feel the difference? So it's very simple. Okay, under normal circumstances, Reiki is going to flow into any living body, your own body, an animal, another person, a plant, anything that it has living cells automatically, even without your conscious awareness. Anytime that you hold your hands still over a position or above a position for more than 5 seconds, Reiki is just going to flow, okay? You could be asleep in bed, and if you turn and you place your hands on your body, and you're in your sleep, hold your hands in that position, Reiki will continue to flow for as long as you're in that position. So sometimes you will end up giving yourself hours of Reiki. Is that bad? No, that's great, because you cannot overload yourself with Reiki. The more that you give yourself, the better it will be for you, okay? So if you fall asleep and your hands are on your body and you give yourself 8 hours of Reiki, wonderful. Congratulations, that's great. Okay, so you cannot overload yourself. There are no contraindications for Reiki whatsoever, so no worries. Okay, great questions. Okay, so now, break up your Reiki self-treatment into chunks of time. It's important to do the 1 hour, but you don't have to do that 1 hour in one piece. Break it into little chunks of time. In the morning, maybe work around the head. Okay, the eyes. You need to use your eyes all day long. Your ears, your throat. You're going to be exposed to many situations, to germs out there. Why not work on your throat area and your thymus gland and do these positions first thing in the morning, 10, 15 minutes, that's all. And then go about your day, and if you have a break during the day, give yourself a little more Reiki. Work on your chest. Work on your chest. And that's a great thing to do in the morning, okay? And then after lunch, do your digestive area to help you process your lunch more effectively. And at night, then start working down your hips and on areas that give you problems, that cause you to be uncomfortable in bed. Work on those areas. And John used to say that it's not how long you live, but it's your quality of life. And if you use Reiki consistently, you'll have a better quality of life. He used to say, give it 6 months. Give it 6 months. If after 6 months you don't find yourself feeling significantly better in every way and you want to quit, quit. But give it 6 months of regular treatments, daily treatments. Sounds good? Okay. Any questions before we end today's session? Okay. Well, thank you so much. Have a great night. Oh, I want to tell you a few things before you go, okay? As far as dietary restrictions, it's important while you're receiving the training, you're receiving the attunements, to avoid alcohol. And the first night of Reiki, avoid caffeine. Drink plenty of fluids. In the morning, you can certainly drink your coffee. If you drink coffee or tea in the morning, that's fine. But tonight is a good idea just to avoid anything that can dehydrate you. You will feel tired because of the attunements. That's normal. And I suggest that you go to bed relatively early. Don't stay up dancing until dawn. Do that tomorrow night, but not tonight. If this is the first time that you've been attuned to Reiki, your pets will know it, and they will find you different. You may discover that that kitty cat that is very aloof is going to be all over you, wanting Reiki, and so will your dog, or they may just shy away because you're a little different. Just understand that they are noticing that you're different, and they're going to react a little differently. Okay, we need a mic here for Natalia. Okay.
If you have multiple animals and like they're all coming at you like you can't give Reiki to all of them. Like,
All the animals at once? All the animals at once?
Well, no. Well, can you?
Well, in the higher levels of Reiki, you can. You can. You can learn to group them and give them Reiki as a group. But what are you thinking in particular? What do you have in mind?
Like, so I have 7 cats and a dog currently.
That's
So
great.
like, if I have like 5 cats on me and they're all trying to get Reiki at once, how do I do that?
Well, you're going to have your work cut out for you tonight. And they may just do that. So why don't you just beam Reiki at them? Okay, and they'll be on your lap and they'll be, just cuddle them. Do they get along? You may discover that they start getting along now that they're getting Reiki from you. They're going to be happier and they're going to get along. It's going to be very interesting for you to share tomorrow what they did. Are you going home tonight?
No, I'm going to a hotel tonight.
Okay. Well, once you get home, why don't you send me an email and let me know how your kitties are and how they like Reiki. Okay, thank you, Natalia. All right. So that's pretty much it for tonight. The last thing is that you may discover that you dream a little more tonight than the usual, and that's because your crown chakra has been opened. You've received a lot of energy and light into your crown, so you have a lot more dreams in a night like tonight. And they may be special dreams. So if you are into dream interpretation, you may want to get your notebook and jot down your dream. Because if you wait until morning, you may no longer remember what your dream is. Okay? So give that a go. Have a wonderful, wonderful night. And look forward to having you here tomorrow. Okay? And good night.
Thank you.